Well, welcome everyone. My name is Lynnette Marrero, and I am here with you for the Zacapa Experience, a journey above the clouds. And this is our session 1. And this is all about the blender, the wonderful woman who makes Zacapa in Guatemala. And we're going to learn a little bit more, take a deep dive into the beauty of Zacapa, where it comes from, Guatemala, just all the things that makes this spirit come to life, and all of the beauty that we are so fortunate to have with this brand. And I know some of you may have attended some of the world-class sessions and things, and today this is just a really great opportunity to have Lorena here and to get all of the things that we want from this amazing brain. But I'm going to introduce just some people who are here with us today. We actually have with us Marcos Vivas, and Marcos is the commercial director with Zacapa Rum, and he's going to be here just to make sure that we don't miss any of Lorena's amazing words, because sometimes we go in a little bit of Spanglish here. So for our Spanish speakers, you'll pick some up, but sometimes we'll have a few things that maybe we don't have a perfect translation for. So Marcos will be here. We are also joined by Chef Grace Ramirez, who is a wonderful friend of mine who I've known for so long, and Zacapa has grown our personal relationship into something that's professional. And she joins us as one of our global ambassadors, really talking about where Zacapa and beautiful spirits like Zacapa meet food, which I think is a growing interest in our industry. And how we see that interaction is a really wonderful thing to see chefs and bartenders and master blenders all working together. And then of course, the lady of the hour, Lorena Vásquez, who is just the heart and soul of this wonderful brand. If you've had an opportunity to hang out with her and meet her during World Class, you know what I'm talking about. She's like the 5-foot bundle of fun, and also brilliant, and knows just so much about this spirit and has so much to offer us in what a beautiful spirit takes, what it takes to make the Zacapa Rum, and all of her decisions that lead us all the way through to the products that you receive in your bars. So we are going to go ahead and get started here. I am a bartender mixologist in New York. My relationship with Zacapa started actually in 2008 when Zacapa was relaunched into the US market, and we were able to have more access to Lorena, and I got to spend time with her at the distillery and to see where this is being made, and have spent the last few years, my gosh, it's been a really long time, working with this brand and the people and understanding the beauty of what makes it. Our next, this is Lorena again. So Lorena has been here for over 35 years. She is a chemist by trade, and that has been the key to a lot of the wonderful innovations she has made on the rum. And she's one of the most incredibly talented like nosers in the world. Lorena can, and this is part of her magic too, how she can just kind of be a distinctive noser and be able to tell the difference between different of the spirits, and that is part of her magic. But her blending is beyond what she does with this product. It's just incredible how much work goes into it. And we're going to go back into there. Nicaraguan by birth, but obviously Guatemala has taken her heart, and so has Zacapa. So that's where she is now located right now. Hola, Lorena. There she is. Oh, I love your color.
Hola, hello.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and start talking about the rum and get into how it's made. So this is the process. This is going to be where, again, if you have deep diving questions that you've always wanted to, please put in the Q&A, and we will work to answer those for you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you very much for participating in this activity. My English is very bad, but I try speaking in English, okay? English and Spanish. For me, it's a pleasure to share with you my passion for the rum. The rum is not my job, it's my passion. Okay, Ron Zacapa is producing in Guatemala. Okay, Guatemala is a country on the heart of the Mayan world. Guatemala have many traditions. Okay. Lynnette, ¿puedes cambiar el?
Sí.
Yeah, please. Okay. Okay, Guatemala is a very full color. My dress today is Guatemala is handcraft. It's handmade for the woman in Guatemala. Okay. Okay. We have a variety of flora or fauna in Guatemala. In Guatemala have 33 different volcanoes. 3 now are very active, but it's good for the soil in Guatemala for the sugarcane plantation. The lake in Guatemala is very spectacular. In Guatemala, the cuisine is very complexity and aroma and the flavor is very flavorful. But because in Guatemala have 23 different ethnias, Mayan ethnic groups.
So there's 23 Mayan subdivisions, so groups within the Mayan culture. There's 23 different ethnicities.
Yes, every ethnic have a very specific language, and dresses and cuisine. Yeah, yeah. This is Antigua Guatemala. Antigua Guatemala is the third in the west, was the third capital of the country. Yeah, but Guatemala, Antigua is very beautiful country. It's the colonial, have a different church, a little market. Is for vacation. Please come to Antigua.
And is Antigua's kind of really shows a lot of the Spanish culture, the criollo that came in, or yeah. So that's where you get that influence.
Zacapa is derived. The word Zacapa is derived from Nahuatl, Aztec language, and it means on the river of grass. Okay, but is the name of the city in Guatemala. Zacapa Rum was created in 1976 to commemorate the 100th century, the first century anniversary, the celebration of the foundation of the city of Zacapa. Okay, normally in the bottle, the Zacapa is the name is Zacapa Centenario. Centenario is the century. Yeah.
It's right on the bottle there.
Yeah. Okay. Our production process is very important for us. The harvesting, the sugar plantation, the fermentation, the distillation. This 3 process is in the south coast in Guatemala. The name, the big city is Retaluleu. Okay, at the aging process, at the blending is in Quetzaltenango. We have the petate weaving, yeah, the women working in different little community in Guatemala, and the bottling process is in Mixco, close to Guatemala City. The sugar cane is very important. We have very specific soil. The soil is very acidic. It's a clay soil. We have the soil is a type of very, very unique soil. The name is vertisol. Only 2% of the planet here has this type of soil. Yeah. Okay, it's very difficult for the working, but it's very good for the concentrate, the sugar and the sugarcane plantation. Normally for Zacapa, we are use 3 different type of sugarcane. The popular name in the farm is La Reina, yeah, the queen. La Morena is a lady, a little brown, from me. And the other time is La Señorita, the name is Miss, okay? But the number, the scientific name is a little complicated. CP722082, yeah? But this specific sugar cane for me is better, but is more sweetness and very complexity in aroma and the flavor. It's very fruity. It's normally the flavor is watermelon or melon, cantaloupe melon. A little pineapple. Is very complexity in the aroma. Okay. Normally the sugar cane take 12 months for the ground and 12 months. 12 months is the sugar cane is ready for harvest. Yeah. The sugar cane is cut and transferred to the sugar mill. In the sugar mill, the sugar cane is washed and chopped. Yeah. After this process, they press the sugar cane for extract the juice. Yeah. This juice is clarified and filtered. Put in the tanks for the heat, concentrate the sugarcane juice. This sugarcane concentrate juice, what we call virgin sugarcane syrup, which is our raw material for Zacapa Rum. The difference in between sugarcane syrup and molasses is very different. It's different in the color, it's different in the flavor and the aroma, okay? But the sugarcane syrup is a product, yeah? It's the sugarcane juice concentrate. Sugar has not been extracted, nothing, yeah? Okay. Molasses is a byproduct. Is what remains after producing a sugar. The molasses is darker. Is a very sticky. Is bitter, and the taste is a little metallic. Yeah, is very different. Some of the farms on the world use molasses as raw material.
Lorena, we have a little question about the clarification process. ¿Cuál es el proceso para clarificación?
Para clarificar.
Sí.
La destilería.
Ah, ok. Tú lo pones en un tanque para que se sedimente, ¿ok? The sugarcane juice put in big tank for the
by the weight?
The sediment, yes. Only in the filtration process, separate a little solid, it's a little bagasse, earth, soil. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then naturally, by adding the water to the sugarcane juice, it's going to naturally start to, you're heating, so water's boiling off and you're pressing it down, but you're keeping the sugar, and then straining out some of the solids once it's been there. Is that more clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And approximately
what temperature is heating and the concentrate is, okay, is very important. The concentrate is at the beginning is 65 centigrade. At the end, the temperature is higher, but is al vacío. We are using the bacon process para que no se queme.
Okay, so just like making caramel, right? You don't want to burn.
Yes.
You're going low and slow before that turning. So you're starting lower at 60 degrees Celsius. You can go a little higher once you've concentrated a little more, but you want to slowly get the water out and concentrate to those syrup. Great.
Yeah. Okay. And the fermentation process is very important. In this process, the flavor and the aroma is produced. Yeah, we are use our oat yeast. This yeast is extract from the pineapple. Yeah, in the fermentation, we do a slow fermentation because we want many aromas and flavor to form. Yeah, when the fermentation is very speed or very fast, yeah, is no complexity, the aroma and the flavor. And the fermentation need time. The time is very important, yeah, for us in this process.
So this is where I think Grace can relate. We all talk about this in a cooking way. It's like developing.
Yes.
Develop a nice long stew. You don't want to boil it. You're trying to just give it time to develop as much flavor in that before we're distilling it. So this is that point of creating the best, beer before we distill it out. And that process is 5 days, so approximately.
Yes. At the minimum.
So sometimes, depending on content, allows you to keep it alive longer. So you're playing with the high sugar cane, that sugar cane that has that sweeterness to it, so you can actually take that process. And then along with temperatures, again, it's depending on the outside temperature. So you just go longer if you need to. If it's been too hot, it'll be 5 days normal. But if it's too cold, then we'll have to go beyond the 5 days. So that way the yeast can be eaten up. But that's kind of I think the process.
Okay.
This is the best on fermentation.
Okay, in the distillation process is where we separate the compounds that we do not want to be in our rum. Yeah, we use a very specific column. This column is designed for Zacapa Rum, only used for Zacapa.
Just that process that you're trying to, when the end product you want, at this point, it's just a question I've always had. Do you have a big science? Do you know exactly what temperature you need to cook it at? Or does this sometimes change depending on the product you've received? Do you sometimes manipulate and change your distillation? Are you constantly tasting and knowing where to cut?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Y lo que hacemos mucho en la destilación es siempre estamos prueba, para ir pudiendo monitorear la temperatura y la presión en la columna, que es muy importante.
Okay, so that's constantly being tasted, so she can find where that perfect heart, what she's trying to get out of it over the time. But you have to keep tasting.
Y nuestra columna tiene los empaques de cobre.
That has the copper plate.
Yes. It's very important in the distillation process, the copper.
Right.
For the flavor and the aroma.
Not just to clarify or to pull out all the flavor and aroma.
Yes. When we already have the distillate, we transfer the rum to Quetzaltenango. Quetzaltenango is the second largest city in Guatemala. In this city, we have the house above the cloud is our aging facility. For us, it's very important. For in the house above the clouds, the altitude is 2,300 meters above sea level. Yeah, the temperature is lower, and we have in this area less oxygen. This point is very important for the aging, because for the slow aging we need low temperature and less oxygen. Yeah.
The low air pressure.
Yes, and the pressure. Yeah. This allow use at the aging slope obtain better balance in aroma and the flavor. It's the same to cooking, to slow cooking too. Yeah. For us in Zacapa world, the time is very important and the different process. No?
And it's also, so just to clarify as well, the air pressure and the temperature will affect how the wood is working, like the madera, whether it expands or contracts. The air pressure and the temperature are very important in that process. So it's less, so you're taking longer to extract the flavor from the woods, or?
Yes. Normally in the night, in la madrugada, la temperatura baja mucho más que a mediodía. Eso nos permite tener ese movimiento en el líquido, ¿no?
So at night when it gets super cold, the movement of the liquid is changed by the temperature variance.
Okay, in the aging process, we use our solera system for Zacapa, where we use different casks and we blend different rums in the aging process. Yeah.
So for people out there, the initial rum, so initial distillate comes from the distillery. You've taken it up into the mountains of Guatemala, and then the first barrel it goes into is used bourbon, yeah, and it sits there for 3 years. The first barrel.
Yeah.
The 3 years for barrel number one.
Okay. In the south coast, the temperature is 30, 32, great, and in the highland is 50 degrees at the average in the temperature. Normally in December and January, the temperature is less to 0, 4 or 7 below 0.
Cold.
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold, but it's nice.
It's almost, the way you're aging rum is like whiskeys in Colorado, because it's the same, it's cold in the winter, and then you have, but no snow, right?
Ok, la siguiente, para explicar el sistema solera.
Tenemos una.
Sí. Okay. This is, we are the different casks in the aging process. We start the aging in American white oak, ex-American whiskey. Yeah. These casks give us a different aroma and the flavor, the vanilla, the apricot, the wood, the a little caramelized pineapple. Okay, in this stage, the run is in this cask for 3 years. The minimum is for 3 years. At the end of the first stage, we remove the rum from this cask, blend it with all the rums. Yeah, it's a new blend put in the second stage, and we are use American oak cask, ex-American whiskey, ex-Zacapa, Zacapa Rum at the first stage. Yeah, this cask we share it on the inside this cask. Yeah, because the wood have a very specific component. The name is lignin. Yeah, the lignin with the color is transformed, and the other aromas. Yeah, give us more vanilla, more toffee, more toasted almond, toasted coconut. It's a little caramelized. Yeah, the wood is caramelized. Ooh, for me it's fantastic. This cask, yeah, after shared is oof. ¿Te recuerdas, Grace?
The smell and the aroma.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. It's like having this beautiful, you know, a spectacular kind of barbecue. But you're charring wood, and then the liquid goes back into that barrel that it's been literally charred with very, very high heat.
Yes, so just for to catch up, I know there's questions about the ages of the liquids at this time. So it's 0 from its first bit to 3 years in ex-American whiskey, and then she takes it out, and then it gets blended with her, basically the selection of rums that she keeps for blending in. So that's where, you know, because just 3 years by itself is not going to be one note. So Lorena's taking older rums that she has and blending them in that become a part of the new. So now you have a rum that has not just 3-year rum, but now some of the other rums that'll vary in different ages, depending on one, how that rum extracts from that barrel, like where it comes out at, what it needs more of, because kind of like non-vintage champagne, Lorena is creating a consistent flavor profile. So if 1 year, if you don't get this certain fruit notes, and once we taste it after that first 3 years, she said, I might need to put more of this year in here and then let it age. So it's that dynamic, just like tasting from distillation, it's a constant tasting and blending to see how it's going to develop after it goes into this barrel for a year, right? If that's kind of where you're going at.
Yeah. Yeah. On the third stage, we are use the ex oloroso cherry cask. Yeah. The liquid, the rum move the second stage to the third stage in this cask, ex oloroso cherry. Only use ex oloroso cherry. This cask give us more toasted nut, almonds, toasted coffee, a little dry fruit, and cherry. The cherry is Very, very, very intensive. Yeah.
We have a question. Artisanal smoked just means we have our own cooperage up in Zacapa. So they're taking them and they're charring them right on premises. So everything is happening there. That's where the barrels are fixed if they need to be fixed, and charred when we char them, scraped. Everything happens on site. So it's all together. And then the other question is how long each barrel is used. I'm going to guess that's
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, depende.
Yeah, that'll depend on the barrel, how long it gives flavor. In the first fill, we're getting those barrels from bourbon, obviously from whiskey, because they can't use them. Those can only be used like 2 or 3 times. So because they won't extract as much of the flavor anymore, I imagine. So that 2 or 3 times is where they get their max out on their flavor. And after that, that's after being used in that first, after 2 or 3 times, then they become the charred casks. Okay, so it always has to be recharred. It can't be charred and then filled a few times because it's about that heat, that activating that lignin that makes the character. Does it add to the viscosity of the rum too? So you're giving texture, flavor, aroma through this active charring. So fire is very important. That's the
Yes. Yeah. Y solamente las podemos utilizar, quemar 4 veces.
Okay, so they can only be retoasted 4 times before, then they use them for all their rums. Okay.
23, we are for the different Zacapa rum, we are used on the 4th stage, the ex Pedro Jimenez cask. Okay, remember the Pedro Jimenez wine is very sweetness, is a very complexity and aroma and the flavor, normally used for the dessert in Spain and or prepare different sauce. Oof, I love PX wine. Okay, this cask give us for me the more complexity in aroma and the flavor, the prune, raisin, toffee, date, fig, chocolate is very important for Zacapa, this cask. And the sweetness, yeah, come for this cask.
And then we have the 23.
Yeah, for Zacapa Edición Negra, the blend is very different. Yeah, this rum is more drier and a little smoky. Yeah, for this Zacapa Edición Negra, we are use a very special cask. This is a ex-American whiskey cask, but we are charred, yeah. But this charred is very different. It's very artisanal. It's a very slow char. We are use a little woody for the older cask we are using for Zacapa rum. This process is very magical, yeah. But my inspiration for Zacapa Edición Negra come from the volcanoes in Guatemala, yeah. This cask give us the smoky note, chocolate, spices note is very present in the Zacapa Edición Negra.
Yep.
Okay.
There's just one question, so just go back to everyone. 3 years ex-American whiskey, blended 1 year minimum in in the charred whiskey casks. and then blended again. In each step, it gets blended with older rums and then spends a year in the next barrel, just so everyone's clear. So it spends at least a year in charred barrel, at least a year in Oloroso sherry, and at least a year in Pedro Jimenez.
Okay.
So, and that's
Yes.
Guatemala law. They come and they watch, they stamp when the barrels go in. It has to be in for that year, or she cannot open it up and taste it until a year. so she has to wait and give it time before she can taste that barrel and decide how to select. But that's it's very well regulated in Guatemala about aging the rum and the processes that we have to follow there.
Yes, it's very strict with the control. Mm-hmm.
Which,
okay, for Zacapa EXO, we are for the end, the aging process, we are use the French oak ex cognac. Yeah, and this cask give us the for me the very citrus note, lemon, orange, grapefruit, chocolate, coffee, red fruit caramelized. Well, this is the aging process. After the aging process, we are prepare the end blending for the every Zacapa. Okay. In this process es mucho trabajo.
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, porque every cask is check. Every cask is check. Yeah, all the time in the process, every cask is check.
It's a lot going on.
I think someone wanted to know that. So it says, you know, does the same rum keep moving from barrel to barrel? And I think it's worth clarifying that it does, but it keeps getting blended. So she literally blends older rums with the new rum, and they try every single barrel and they feel it's perfect. But
Yes.
That's the solera.
Okay.
It's worth clarifying.
The end blend put in the American white oak vat. Yeah, this is the big barrels. We are use American oak for Zacapa 23 and Zacapa Edición Negra. For Zacapa XO, we are use French oak vat. Yeah, it's this time is very important for us. We have the other solera system in this marriage process normally. Woo!
That's a lot of information.
Yeah.
Okay.
For Zacapa 23, we have used 4 different casks. Yes. At the end of the process, we are use ex Pedro Jimenez cask. For Zacapa Edición Negra, we use 5 different casks. And the end of the process is the very specific special cask is artisanal charred and is smoked for Zacapa Edición Negra. For Zacapa XO, we use 5 different casks, and for the end, we use the French oak ex cognac. Every Zacapa, the blend is very different. Yeah. For us, the petate is a very special, but the petate ring is one at the union with the pre-Hispanic roots. Yeah? This petate ring is woven for the different women and a little communities in Guatemala, in Quiche, in the Progreso, in Jocotan. The petate symbolize the union of the universe. Yeah, it's the sun, and the moon, is the day and the night, is the physical and the spiritual. Yeah? Is for the Mayan, is the petate is very important, symbolize the royalty. Yeah. The petate is a work, handcraft by band by band, ring by ring, yeah. Okay, in the bottling process, but every bottle, the petate band, every bottle is handmade all the time. This.
Yeah, if you take this off, you will see there's usually the artisan who wove it. There is it links back, so you can see that on there. And when you pull it off as well, you can see there's no seam, so it's completely woven into itself. So it's a unity circle, and the band, you know, it's a beautiful, I mean, and very complex way of weaving. And it's also created, you know, economy for these women in these towns.
Yes.
They have built schools. They have been able to send their children to different schools, and they're using their artistry, and it's become a place. So even other women will work with each other to maybe they help each other make different ones, create their own commerce through this process. So this is very much Zacapa giving back to the Mayan culture, helping these communities use their artisan work for something that is constantly in use. So it's really emotional and wonderful to meet these women who are using this ancient technique to grow their families and to create new opportunities for their children.
Yes.
So it's beautiful to see.
Yeah. Now we have more 1,700 women women give the Zacapa bands, rings for Zacapa. Okay, for Zacapa and the weaver share the wish to preserve original Guatemalan culture and this community. Yeah. Thank you. Espero que me hayan entendido.
We're quick. I think there were a few different questions. I don't know if anyone wants us to go back to, the still, Lorena, this column.
Yeah.
Was it built specifically for you? It looked from
Yes. This column is designed specific for Zacapa Rum.
For Rum Zacapa is only one.
Only one column, yeah.
Instead of 3 normally.
But for us, the more important point is the design. The design, yeah. I love research all the time, yeah. But we have a pot still, yeah, too. And the pot still, the distillation, and the pot still and the column, the Zacapa column, is the same profile, yeah.
And we have another question. This is an easy one. Which is your favorite Rum Zacapa? It's picking your children. That's not fair.
Yeah. No, but okay. Okay. For aperitif or for cocktail, I prefer Zacapa 23. I love old fashioned. I prefer Zacapa 23 for the cocktail and the Zacapa edición negra.
More questions here.
I love with, okay, Zacapa edición negra, I prefer with the barbecue and the smoky cheese for very special Negroni, okay? Yeah, and Zacapa XO for the end, for the dessert, for the digestive, for the lime, the long night.
So some of the things, questions here. So when you came to Zacapa, you created a few processes that are very important. One, if you picked the strain of yeast that we're using, yes, that was your discovery and invention.
Okay, the yeast.
The yeast, yes.
No, no, it's the yeast is is a very special research in the 1960 in the distillery. It's from the USA engineer, yeah, because the fermentation with the sugarcane syrup, the virgin sugarcane syrup, is very difficult. Yeah, it's more easy the fermentation with the molasses. Okay, so this research is for the yeast very specific for use with the virgin sugarcane syrup.
For me, I mean, Zacapa, what I love about it is the structure of it. And as we talk through how complex this is, even going down to, you know, obviously the sugarcane and what you're thinking about, there's so many different ways to be inspired by the rum, whether you're leaning into the way Lorena uses sherry wines in a different way, which for me have given me so many different places to go. I've enjoyed learning more about the chemicals of the wood and how that can inspire different ways of expressing Zacapa and how it contrasts with smoke. So when you think about flavor profiles that you can work with Zacapa, it tastes delicious with other smoky ingredients when you build a cocktail with it. But even by itself, just when you start to understand how complex it is, I feel like I find something new every time that I try Zacapa, and I hope you all do as well, that you find something that is new about it each time. Every time I hear Lorena speak, I've learned something new about just how incredibly deep her process is. And I know we've talked a little bit before, but Lorena's job is so complex, as she said earlier, with checking all those barrels. But not only that, is that she's preparing for the future growth of Zacapa. So she's not, because of the way she makes the rum, Lorena has to be planning come on 20 years in advance. She has to be thinking about almost 20 years further down the line, because she has to have all those rums aging to be able to be blended back in. So if you can think about how massive that is to be projecting your growing of your cane, what your projections are gonna have to look like, how you're building it up, that's a pretty tremendous task. And she does an incredible job of doing that while making sure that this product is always stands out to and stands up to what we all expect from it. So brava to Lorena for that process. And it depends on the time of year. I'll say my favorite, yes. I took to grow it, like XO became something for me that I started learning to love more and more, because, you know, I think this is when we, like bartenders, right? We want to try those things that are extra special. And so when I am going to enjoy a spirit, but I think it was the time we did the chocolate pairing was when my mind exploded with how beautiful XO can be, because we worked with a chocolate
dark chocolate, yeah.
And he pointed out to me that there were some underlying notes of lavender, a little bit of lavender and floral notes in XO that I didn't even notice until then. Then I sat and smelled, and I was like, oh my goodness, I do smell things like rose and these like really subtle floral notes, which then when you have I love floral
lychee,
yeah, those different things that just surprised me. So that was kind of eye-opening for me. So treat yourself to some chocolate and Zacapa.
I'll send you all the flourless chocolate brownies. We did those world class, and everyone was like, this changed my life.
Lots of education coming up. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Cheers.
Afternoon. Happy hour. So thank you, everyone.
Yes.